Hindu temples have stood as pillars of spiritual life, tradition, and community service in Bharat for centuries. Yet in Tamil Nadu, these sacred institutions are controlled not by their devotees or spiritual leaders, but by a state run department, the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments. While mosques and churches remain untouched by government interference, over 45,000 Hindu temples are under bureaucratic control in Tamil Nadu. This is not secularism, it's a targeted suppression. Let's cut through the jargon. HR&CE, especially under the current DMK government, has become a vehicle of ideological war against Hindu institutions. This video is not just about questioning HR&CE. It's about highlighting how the DMK regime has transformed temples into testing labs for work politics, financial exploitation, and dismantling of dharmic practices. Why are only Hindu temples in Tamil Nadu under government control? Why can't Hindus manage their sacred spaces the way Christians and Muslims do? And what gives a political party with a known anti-Sanatana stance the right to melt sacred temple gold, appoint crash course trained priests, and strip centuries-old temples of their traditions? In this video, we question the very existence of the HR&CE department, a department that has become more of a political tool than a guardian of dharmic institutions. From the outrageous gold monetization scheme to priests trained under the DMK's controversial all-caste Archaka program, caught dancing drunkenly in temple premises, we expose the truth behind these schemes. If you believe temples belong to the devotees, not to government bureaucrats and ideologically biased ministers, stay with us till the end. It's time to ask, should HR&CE even exist? One of the most outrageous actions by the HR&CE under DMK rule is the gold monetization scheme. Over 1074 kg of sacred gold offerings made by devotees have been melted into bars and deposited in banks. Temples like Samayapuram Mariamman Temple in Trichy alone saw more than 424 kg melted. The government claims it earns interest of over 17 crore annually, supposedly used for temple upkeep. But where is the transparency? Where is the audit? Where is the devotee consent? This is not financial prudence. This is sacrilege disguised as policy. Devotees offer jewelry and ornaments not as assets to be liquidated, but as symbols of faith and love to their deities. Turning these sacred gifts into cash is not just disrespectful, it borders on state-sanctioned loot. Even worse, this was done ignoring court orders demanding an audit and assert registry. Is this governance or organized misappropriation? And this is just the beginning. The HR&CE has become a tool for cultural engineering. Take the all-caste Archaka scheme, a DMK brainchild. On paper, it promotes equality, but in reality, it's an attempt to replace traditionally trained priests with government-certified crash course trainees who lack the spiritual grounding or Agama Sastra expertise. One such disturbing outcome was the Srivilliputhur incident, where priests trained under this scheme were caught drinking, dancing obscenely, and misbehaving with women devotees inside temple premises. The fallout was swift: public outrage, priest suspension, and legal cases. But the larger question remains, is the sanctity of our temples worth sacrificing for vote bank appeasement? Traditional Archakas start their training as children, often before age 10, spending years mastering rituals, scriptures, and discipline. You cannot expect the same reverence and decorum from someone fast-tracked through a one-year political course. The Madras High Court even intervened, stating that the temples should not become training centers and that the scheme violates both agamic principles and Supreme Court guidelines. Another shocking development under HR&CE is the move to ban Sanskrit and restrict Archanais only to Tamil. While Tamil is a beautiful language, rituals across Bharatiya temples are traditionally conducted in Sanskrit or a mix of Sanskrit and regional languages. This decision is not about inclusivity. It's about ideological dominance and a blatant attempt to erase spiritual continuity. All these actions point to one truth. HR&CE is not protecting temples. It is politicizing and profiting off them. Devotees donate crores every year, but instead of seeing this wealth reinvested in temples, we see temple properties encroached upon, ritual sanctity compromised, and even temple infrastructure falling apart. So, where is all this money going? Why is it being used to fund schools, colleges, and state programs instead of restoring temple tanks, halls, or gopurams? Why are only Hindu temples subjected to this control? Why doesn't the state intervene in mosques or churches or melt their offerings? Selective secularism is nothing but systemic discrimination. And when you have ministers like PK Segar Babu and Udayanidhi Stalin who compared Sanatan Dharma to dengue and malaria running the show, how can the intent be seen as anything but hostile? This is not a matter of politics, it's a matter of faith, identity, and constitutional rights. Article 26 of the Indian Constitution guarantees religious denominations the right to manage their own affairs. Then why are Hindu temples the only ones shackled by state control? The HR&CE department must go. Devotees, spiritual heads, and temple trustees must reclaim what rightfully belongs to them. It's time for a complete decolonization of Hindu temple management. It's time to restore dharmic control, ensure accountability, and stop using temples as ATMs for the government's secular experiments. If you believe in equal rights for all faiths, in protecting Hindu traditions, and in stopping ideological interference, then raise your voice, demand audits, demand autonomy, and above all, demand the abolition of HR&CE. The temples belong to the deities and their devotees, not the government, and it's time we act like it.